2015, we're back with a bang. No Anthony Joshua, but still a very exciting bill.
Yeah, ringside's back. Fight night's back, and it's just nice to just listen. 2015 should be massive. Potentially, we've got the fight that everybody's been begging for the past 10 years.
I've got to ask you, you've spent all week or a lot of this week with Manny Pacquiao. How confident are you that it's going to happen May 2nd?
I am 80-20.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, I want to know what was said off camera.
I think it's a done deal. And I think Floyd Mayweather's in a position where if he doesn't step up, he'll lose a lot of credibility. What's the point in going on Twitter, on Facebook, and asking your fans who I should box, and then when they tell you, you box somebody else? No, I think.
You think he kind of needs Pacquiao to cement his legacy?
Well, whilst he's still boxing, he'll get a lot of abuse. Maybe 5-10 years down the line, you look at Floyd Mayweather's record, and he's got to 50-0, no matter what that's in the records. But then I suppose it's like a bully, and if you're fighting people, you think I've got your number, you'll fight them, and then all of a sudden someone's around that you're not sure you've got his number. They're the people that you've got to step up and fight them. When you fight them, then they'll think, well, you know what, he's been into deep waters. Pacquiao did it with De La Hoya. He's done it with many, many people out. And Pacquiao's a lot smaller than Mayweather. Now, this is the only fighter that we can see out there to test Floyd Mayweather. Amir Khan will test him, but I don't think he'll beat him. Manny Pacquiao will test.
That would be an exciting fight, Khan-Pacquiao.
You need a fight for Manny Pacquiao out of Floyd Mayweather and Amir Khan is actually Floyd Mayweather.
In what way?
Amir Khan's got a high pace. They know each other. They're familiar with each other. He knows not what to do. He knows what traps not to get himself involved into. And so and Mayweather likes to control the pace, try and keep it long, try and let the combinations go. Pacquiao southpaw style would be too hot for him to handle. And now at 36. We saw when he boxed Maidana twice. The first fight, he was getting caught, he was getting tagged. Maidana's not Pacquiao. Pacquiao, on form, should give him a good run for his money. But remember, Pacquiao's got older as well. And people think just because he's been knocked out a few times, they think, well, he's broken. You speak to this guy, you realise they mean nothing. The losses mean nothing. When he talks about fighters, when he talks about Barrera, Morales, Marquez, he doesn't talk about them as individuals. He talks about them as weights. And that, I just think, to me, it baffles me because that's how he just looks at it. He said his hardest fight was Cotto because he was up at 147. And I just, it baffled me, but that's where he felt, that's how he looks at opponents.
I know that you're a huge Mayweather fan, but I also know that Pacquiao said to you off camera, what do you think the outcome of this fight would be if he was to fight him? What did you say?
I was a bit shocked when he did that, actually. Everybody left.
Asking your humble opinion.
Everybody left the room. I thought, you're asking me? Do you know who I am?
Nope.
Nope. His manager thought I was Frank Bruno.
See the likeness.
and I said, look, I'm a Mayweather fan, but I think this time, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be you. And I've always put my hand up and said Mayweather 100%. I'll put my hand on heart now. I wouldn't say Mayweather 100%, because I think Manny Pacquiao's demeanour, his attitude, his thirst is far more hungrier. It's far more on it than Floyd Mayweather. And I think Floyd Mayweather should have boxed him the first time. Because now he's slowed down, it will be harder for him to control the pace of a little gnat like Pacquiao, in and out all over the place. And it makes you tired, makes you all quick. And I can't say Floyd Mayweather 100%. I can't say anymore, whereas I always used to.
Fingers crossed, May 2nd. It happens now, obviously, tomorrow night, going back to the main bill here at the O2. Kevin Mitchell headlining. What are your thoughts on, they're saying it's a 50-50 fight with Estrada. What do you think?
On paper, it's not. Estrada.
He's 4-1 on odds.
Mitchell is. Somebody probably knows something I don't. Listen, Estrada's come over with an entourage that don't come over to see somebody get turned over. Kevin Mitchell, I think, is a slickster. He can bang. We gather he's the new improved Kevin Mitchell. His hunger's back, his thirst is back. So I think if he boxes to the best of his ability, it'll be a rough ride for him, but he should put it out of the bag in the later rounds. If he doesn't, and if he's tested, and Estrada really puts it on him, then we could see him lose. This is the kind of fight that Kevin Mitchell should be winning if he is to go on to be a world champion. So we're all panicking about this fight. Will he win? Won't he win? These are the kind of fights when we're sure he'll get rid of this guy. And that will tell us that he's world championship material.
Do you think mentality is going to play a big part in this fight? Because I think Kevin Mitchell's proved that mentality has really affected him out of the ring. He wasn't prepared. Katsidas, he's fully admitted he wasn't in the right headspace. And obviously Estrada, before his fight suffered massive personal tragedy, losing his sister in a car accident. So I think they're both in very different mentals.
Exactly. And you look at Estrada's last fight, he got stopped, but remember, he lost his sister, lost his niece. Around that time, his head was fried. And still to go through that, there's not many fighters that can do that. The only other fighter that did something like that and still got out there and did his job was Buster Douglas when his mother died, about the time when he boxed Mike Tyson in Tokyo. And that's when he shocked Tyson's career and kind of changed Tyson's career. I think Estrada is the stronger mentally of the two. I think Estrada is the hungrier of the two. I think Estrada, they're both in the same position where they need a world title fight. They know this means everything to them if they have world title ambitions. I think Estrada is the one where you'd lean towards. But Kevin Mitchell, I think, is a slick fighter, so I think Kevin Mitchell has the ability to beat him. But it's about mettle, it's about mentality. And that's where we're going to find out in the first 3 or 4 rounds which way this fight's going to go.
I think there's also a lot of other 50-50 scraps on the bill. Boylan, Ryder.
Yeah, there's a young lad called Isaac Chamberlain as well. He's making his professional debut as a cruiserweight. He's been out sparring with Deontay Wilder in preparation for Deontay's world title fight. He was the only sparring partner out of 6 of them that didn't get put on his arse. I saw the kid in Brixton, and when I saw him in Brixton, I thought there was something about him. I thought he actually looks like me when I was young.
Really?
Fast. He was busy. He was like a little giddy school kid, and so I kind of took him under my wing, and now he'd phone, and I'd give him a bit of advice. And when George Groves had his comeback fight for the European title at Wembley Conference Centre, I got Isaac a couple of ringside tickets because he'd never been ringside for a fight, which was odd. And he went to the fight, and I was watching him at the other side of the ring because I was working, and he was like a little kid.
How old is he?
He's 20 years old. He's a little kid on Christmas morning. And I thought that's the best thing you could do, because now he sees how life could be. He could be the one in the spotlight. He could be the one that everybody's watching. He could be the one that everybody's talking about. And that's not fazed him. That's made him hungry. It's made him thirsty. It's given him a desire. And so I think it was the best thing that could have happened to him, because from then on now, he's talked to Eddie. Ted Bammy is his advisor and trainer. He's got the backing of him. He's got a sponsor. And I think he's a kid. Watch out for him. He'll be something special.
You've got Boylan fighting the second time for the vacant English title, and with Jamie Moore for the second time. And he's been away 8 weeks, sacrificed being with his family up in Manchester. And I spoke to Jamie earlier, and Ricky, and Jamie just said his words are he's training like a Manc fighter.
And you got to look at the true power behind the throne, and that's Jamie. And Jamie's not an idiot. He's not a hustler. He'll tell you how it is. And so if Jamie has brought his fighter Boylan down to do a job, and he's trained to do a job, and Boylan does the job, Boylan should win. And so I wouldn't. This will be about character, because I don't think the training side of it, I don't think the preparation side of it is going to be a problem. And Jamie would have covered every angle. So this is about Boylan's mentality, and if he wants it enough, the job's done.
It appears he does. Thank you very much for talking to us, and enjoy the bill tomorrow, and the rest of 2015 looks very exciting.
That's how I roll.